Hi, everybody. This is Virginia Milner coming to you with another episode of Jewelry with Jen for the DeKalb County Library System. We are in the holiday season, so we've just got to keep going with that. I am in holiday mode. So I wanted to show you something really, really easy to make. I've seen these all over the place, but I've seen them done in many different ways, but I wanted to show you something really simple if you're looking for just a really pretty little gift to give somebody that's very easy to make, or you want something for yourself that you can just put on and wear, and it's really pretty, and again, very easy to make. I thought we would make one of these little bangles. You just slide it on, wear it, and there it is. And if you have more than one, you can stack them. I just have two of the same color. Would have been better if I could show you different colors, and that's it. It's very, very easy. I can't stress that enough. And I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of a holiday theme, so I did these in red, and I've got the one that we're going to do today is going to have green, and then I have one that's blue because it's a little wintry. But I wanted to show you how to do that real quick. Very easy. Once you get one bead on, then the rest of them follow right along. It's very simple. It only requires beads and wire. You can choose the beads that you want. What I'm using today is 8mm rondelles for the center bead and 6mm on the outside. I've also seen this done. I usually have seen this done with just one bead, either in the center and the rest of it wire, or if you want to do several. I've seen 3 done, and you just have 3 single beads, excuse me, I can't talk, 3 single beads. And today I thought we would do 5, just because, why not? So we're going to do 5 beads all the way around our little bangle here. It only takes 20 gauge wire and your choice of beads, and you need a ruler to measure out your wire. You don't even really use pliers that much, but just keep your standards on hand, your round nose pliers and your flat nose pliers, and you need a pair of cutters to cut your wire. Other than that, we're good to go, and we're going to get started on this so that we can have a pretty little bangle when we finished. Okay, so what we need is again, this is relative. In order to get a bangle like this, which has about 5 rings in there or 6 strands of wire in it, I used 6 feet of wire. You can use more wire, you can use less wire. It just depends on how big you want your bangle to be, how expansive you want it to be. So I have 6 feet of wire here, 20 gauge. And what you need, the other thing that you need that I didn't say, is some kind of a cylindrical item to shape it into your bangle shape. And you can use a pop can or a soda can. Sorry, I'm from the Midwest, we say pop. Or one of these things is what I used. It's about the same size as a pop can. I would have used a pop can, but mine are in the refrigerator and very cold. So this is what we get. So just something that is about the size that you would need to slide over your knuckles. That's all you need. You want it to be small enough for your wrist, but big enough so that you can slide it on easily, like that. So for me, that was this guy right here. It was the perfect size. And it came out to be about 9 inches around. My wrist is about 7.5, and just to get it over my knuckles very comfortably, it came out about 9 inches. So what we're going to do is wrap our wire around whatever it is you're using to shape it. And you can use shaping tools, but I mean, they're not necessary. but you're just going to wrap it around the item that you have. And just get your wires nice and close together when you're wrapping. Just hold on to them so that they're nice and close. Oh, I'm knocking my beads all over the place. I can't get the whole thing on camera for you to see me wrapping, but I'll just show you this way. Wrap it all the way around. So keeping the wires nicely together. And so what I need on the end, oh, I let it pop. See that? Darn it, Virginia. Why'd you do that? Let's do that again. Okay. But what I need when I finish this is to have about 15 inches of free wire on each end. Nice and snug. Okay, now we're back in business. Work with me here. If you have a pop can, I have to work with the ridges on my little case that I've got going here. It'll be nice and smooth. There we go. So now I've got it wrapped all around my item here. I'm going to pull it nice and snug. And what I need sure my wires are together, side by side. And so what I need is on each end, I need about 15 inches of free wire. Just measure that up real quick. And you can just you can eyeball it if you'd rather, but you just want to measure one side. Yeah, that's about 15 inches. And then you want the same on the other side. You want both sides to be about the same length of free wire. There we go. This one's a little longer, so we'll wrap that around a little bit. Until they are about the same. There we go. And then we're going to slide this off, and this takes a little bit of patience. You want to slide that off of there. Slide it down and off of whatever your cylindrical item is. Keep all the wires together. Nice and neat and tidy. Now remember, this is very organic, so it's not going to be perfect, but as close as you can get to all of the wires neatly together. There we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is make sure everything is nice and neat here. And if you want to, you can check to make sure it will go over your wrist, but that's about the size of a normal hand, and my finger's in there. That's why it's a little harder to get it over my wrist, but you don't want it too much bigger than that. There we go. Here we go. All my wires are together. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is take one of my wires. I'm going to go with this one on this side. And I'm going to wrap it around the other wires. Just going to bend it off to the side like so. And this will get easier once the wires are shorter because you don't have as much to deal with. So I'm going to wrap around about 3 times. 3 times or 4 times, it's up to you. And I'm going to go about 3 times. And the first one is the most challenging because you want it nice and snug. You can use your pliers if you want to. Kind of snug it down tightly. And after that, it gets a little easier because your wires are in place. And I find that it really works nicely if you pull that, push that through there, and then kind of push it down with your fingers or with your pliers against the wire. I'm going to give it one more wrap. There we go. So now I'm going to introduce my first beads. So I'm doing a set of topaz and green, kind of approximating a green and gold color scheme. And if you look at these and these wires aren't as close together as you might want them to be, just take your pliers and squeeze them together. Yep. So I'm going to put on one 6 millimeter topaz, one 8 millimeter green rondelle, and another 6 millimeter topaz rondelle. And what I'm going to do is put a little bend in my wire right here with my pliers, and you can use the tip of your round nose or your square nose just to give it something to sit, to kind of sit the beads in. I'm going to go to the other side. You can use your fingernail to bend it, or again, you can use your pliers. It just gives it a nice resting place. And now I'm going to wrap on the other side 3 times again. 1, 2, and I'm going to squeeze it down nice and tight. And one more. And now I'm going to introduce another set of beads. Now I need to decide how far away I want my next beads to go. You can give yourself beads all on one side and on the front and down the side, and then leave the back with just empty, but that would be more of a bracelet than a bangle, and I really want something that goes kind of all the way around. So what I'm going to do is give myself, I have about 9-inch circumference of my bracelet, and I'm going to put 5 different sets of beads on. So I need to give myself a little less than an inch, just a tiny bit more than 7/8 of an inch in between each of my sets of beads, because each of my sets of beads takes up about an inch of space. So I'm just eyeballing it, because this is, again, very organic and just a kind of an artistic piece. So it doesn't have to be absolutely anything other than, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just put it that way. So what I'm going to do is slide it down. I'm going to give myself about a little less than an inch in between. Why this thing's doing this. In between my bead, my wrap, and my next set of beads. Okay. And then I'm going to take my wire underneath the other beads. And bring it around that 7/8 of an inch or so. And up. And I'm going to introduce my second set of beads. And what you can do just to kind of make it more in between, you can pull it up in between the beads instead of going around the top of the beads. You can pull it up in between just to kind of get it a little more centered. And I have five strands here, so I need to pull it up through 2 strands, and I'll have 3 strands on the other side, and then I will put my beads on. So again, I'm going to measure it a little bit, give myself about 7/8 of an inch, slide my beads on. I think I keep jostling this thing or something. For some reason, it keeps going out of whack. Nope, I'm not going to do that. Am I going to do that? Wrap it around that way? No, I'm just going to wrap it around from the outside. If I was doing one bead, I could go through the center. But as it is, I don't really need to do that. So I'm just going to wrap 7/8 from the last wrap, 7/8 of an inch. Just wrap it around. Just like I did the first one. One wrap. Make it nice and snug. It's a little long. Let's go back a little further. Okay. 2 wraps. And we'll wrap. Let's push those wires together. Okay, let's get my beads on there. Six millimeter, 8, and 6. Now, there's all kinds of ways you can do this. You don't have to do it this exact way. You can put a set here and another set here, and space it out, and then 2 more sets and space it out, or 2 sets and 1 space, 1 and a space, 2 and a space. It's really your design. It doesn't not have to be, and you don't always have to use 3 beads. You can use 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. It's really, this is an artistic piece, so you really don't have to follow a specific pattern like I'm doing. I'm just showing you something very, very basic and easy to do so that you have something to work from. And then you just let your imagination run wild. So there's 2 sets on there. I'm going to go over here and do the next set. Let's see. I need about 7/8 of an inch from my wrap. Let's wrap it around. One. Move that down a little bit. 2. And 3. That through there. Get it all nice and snuggly buggly. Push my wires together. And put my beads on. I wish I had been a little more creative and used different colored beads, but I use so much color in all of my designs that sometimes I want to just be a little bit more consistent so as not to scare people away. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm being consistent. Okay, let's wrap that. One full wrap around. Snugly. Good. And this is very soft wire, so it's very malleable. You don't have to worry about having to struggle too much with it. As you can see how bendy it is? But it makes beautiful, beautiful bangles because once you've worked with it this much, it will work harden and it will be a nice solid bangle. That will hold its shape. Stopped in the middle of my sentence. Okay. And that's 3. This is my 3rd one. My 3rd wrap. Okay. Got 2 more to do. I'm going to squeeze my little wires nice and close together so they look neat and tidy. And let's go down underneath again. And slip on another set of beads now. 7/8 of an inch, thereabouts. And here we go again. Topaz, green, and topaz. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be wrapping this again. I was going to say something looks weird. That's why. 7/8 of an inch. Do my little wrap. Once. Nice and tight. Twice. Thought it was blurry for a second, but I guess it's not. And 3 times. See how much easier it is once the wire is a little shorter. You don't have that much to deal with. Okay. Put my beads on again. Topaz. Green. And topaz. See back here. And on the other side. Okay. And wrap. I always like to do the first one, make sure that first one is nice and snug before I continue. And it just makes it that much easier to snug the other two. Any loose wires running around. Okay, that's 2, and that is 3. Nice and snug. Push my wires together. Now, one of the reasons that I left this on here was to see which one was the longest to do my last set of beads. This is the longest one. So I'm going to cut this one off. Why leave it? It's just bugging me. All right. Make sure it's nice and tidy and in place the way I want it. It is. And I cut it off on the top. That way, when I'm sliding my hand in and out, I don't have to worry about anything scratching me, because no matter how hard you try, there's always a possibility that a little of this is going to be kind of sticking up. The other thing I like to do is bend the wire, or the wrapping wire around the bangle, and then lift it up before I cut. And then that way it's already going in the direction that I want it to when I get ready to push it down into the other wires. So I'm going to snip that off. And then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to push it down beside the other wires, as close beside the other wraps, as close to this wire, the base wire, as I can get, so it's nice and smooth and not sticking out like so. Okay, now we have one more set of beads to put on. So we're gonna go down here again about 7/8 of an inch. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna wrap it. Just wrap really nice and snug. Much easier when the wire is short. Put my beads on. I think I have one more. There we go. Beads, my last set of beads. I left myself an extra gold bead because you never know when they're going to be cantankerous and one of them's going to go flying across the room on the floor where I can't get it, and then I have to go crawling around after it or looking for other beads in the box while I'm on camera, and it's just too humiliating for me to have to deal with. So I have an extra bead that I don't have to do anything with. All right, so now we're down to our last set of beads. Yeah, let me seat my beads better. So a little bend here. Get back on there. Okay. Nice and snuggly buggly. Two wraps. And three. And look at that. I had just enough wire, about 2.5 inches left. Yay! I hate wasting. I started off, the first time I did this, I used 18 inches of wire and I ended up cutting off this off of both ends, which did not make me happy at all. That's why I knocked it down to 15 and it's perfect. Okay, squish those little rings together. Flip that off on top. Again, make sure that that last little wrap that I'm gonna clip is shaped in the direction that I want it to go. And Rip it off. And push it down. Now, when I push down, I like to push it down from the back because then that way I can take my pliers and kind of rotate them around. And then that way I can get it nice and snug against my wire. I'm going to go around in a circle like that. I like to push it down as close as I can get to the wrapping wire. See? No sticking up. Nothing sticking up. Nice and snug. Yay. Look at that! We have a bangle. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. I was not 100% sure of the topaz beads with the copper wire because, I mean, they're so close to the same color. But that came out beautiful. I like it. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, that is so pretty. My red one. I am just a walking holiday. I love it. Love, 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 love. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This thing keeps going in and out. It's like, you keep moving. I don't like that. And so it keeps getting fuzzy. See, it keeps trying to adjust to my movement, which I guess is good. But anyway, isn't that cute? So easy. And anybody can wear this. You can make this for young teenagers would love it. Kids would love it. Your mom would love it. Your grandmother would love it. Very pretty, very simple, very easy. Guys, if you forgot to get a present, hey, grab some wire and some pretty crystals. Go just get some Swarovski crystals and make a gorgeous little bangle for it to be worn for the holidays. Oh, aren't they cute? I love them. Oh, that blue one with the blue and the clear would have been pretty. That was what I was going to do, but these little beads get lost on here. And I just dropped one. These get lost on here and they're hard. They're hard for you to see when I'm doing it against silver wire, which was my original. That's what I was going to do, but it's kind of hard to see it. So I said, well, I will do the copper and the green. And those of you who get kits will get one of these colors, either the blue or the green or the red. And if I'm feeling especially generous, you might get two sets of colors. But isn't that neat? It's just so simple, so pretty, and just so easy to wear. And you don't have to make it holiday themed. You can make it any type of beads that you want. But it's just, oh, it's so sparkly. Anyway, that is our little holiday themed jewelry piece for the day, our sparkly bracelets. That's what I'm going to call them. Sparkly bracelets, sparkly bangles. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. Let me know if you do. If you didn't, let me know that too. And let me know why. But if you make these, please post them on the Facebook page for the library, or you can email them to me at jewelrygen21@gmail.com. I couldn't remember the rest. Jewelry, Jewelry, Gin, GIN 21 20. Oh my gosh, that's right, because it started last year. So jewelrygen20 gmail.com, JEWELRYGIN20@gmail.com. Send me the pictures. I'll post them on the library Facebook page, or you can post them directly on the library Facebook page. One way or another, you're going to get a nice little kit with a selection of beads and a selection of wire. If I get generous enough to give you more than one wire, we'll see. And you can make your own little bangles, but I am going to give you a nice selection of beads so you can choose which ones you want to use. You don't have to use one or the, just one color. And then you let me know what you do. And if you decide to do this, I would love it. I would really love it if you would even show it to me on your arm. If you can take a picture of it on your arm, that would be great. Anyway, enough of that chatter. It's time to go. I will see you next time, or you will see me next time. And I hope you will come back again. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break, not this week, but next week. We're going to have a couple weeks off, but for the holiday, for Christmas. But we'll be back after New Year. And until then, enjoy the next video that I do, and your holidays, and we will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend, and so long.